The vital question of whom to marry occurs to almost every young individual at a certain point in their lifetime. Lovely, my name is Kofi. My friends call me Nanami's King. If today is your first time seeing my video, especially try your best possible to follow, like, share, and then bless me with your comments. I thank you very much. So today we are going to talk about courtship. Yes, courtship and Christian courtship, of course. As believers, there is a certain pattern we should follow when we enter into courtship. And you see, before we proceed with this topic I'm going to talk about, I would want to pass this I want to clear this mentality that people have concerning courtship. Now, most believers, during the past days believed or had this mindset that courtship was sinful and all that, it was demonic and all that. Get that thing out of your mind. It is very important to, practice courtship before marriage. You see, it will be unwise on your side not to get to know your partner in advance before you enter into marriage. It will be a disaster if you do not know your partner, because marriage is not for the weak, and marriage is not just something normal. Marriage is ordained by God, so you ought to follow the requisite steps in order to have a successful marriage. Now, when we say courtship, what does it mean, or what is courtship? Now, courtship is the period in which two young individuals of the opposite sex have the opportunity to study themselves closely with marriage as the ultimate goal. I'm repeating myself again. Courtship is the period in which two young individuals or two young persons of the opposite sex, which is a man and a woman, have the opportunity to study each other. The key word is study each other closely with the motive of getting marriage in the near future. That is what courtship is. Now, courtship requires two born again Christians who have the mind of God. So if you are entering into courtship, you should consider these things, that it requires people with the mentality of God, or I would say matured Christians. Marriage is ordained and a blessed institution, as I said earlier. But when you attack it wrongly, you might see marriage as an unappealing something. So it is very important to go the right path to marriage. That is why it is very essential to note these key things that I'm about to list for you to adhere to. Now, in Christian courtship, you both must be seriously committed to God first, so that God will guide you to be committed to yourselves. You both ought to be seriously committed to God first. In everything, you need to put God first. You ought to be mature Christians, as I said earlier, in order to experience the blessings of purity, and avoid the temptations and all those negative vibes that comes along in the journey of courtship. Now, one key thing you should know is that during courtship, it is very prudent that parents of both parties must be involved in every dealings, or almost every dealings, of these two individuals who have agreed to study each other with the intent of getting married. It is very important that the parents of both parties are aware, to avoid unrealistic optimisms. It shouldn't be done in the secret at all, because things which are done in the secret always end up you understand what I'm talking about. So it should be opened. You understand? It guides you. If everybody knows that you are dating this, and then certain times we see you with another person at a dark place, people will start suspecting, and then it will obstruct so many temptations and all of that. So it is very prudent that parents of both parties So now, the foundation of a good marriage is laid during courtship and not inside the marriage. The foundation of a good marriage is laid during courtship. As I said earlier, you get to know yourselves that much that when you enter into marriage, you know your left from right, you know your partner holistically, and then you'll be able to serve yourselves to the glory of the Most High God. Now, the following are some things to be done during courtship. One is prayer. Yes, it is very prudent that you involve prayers in your courtship. When the foundations of prayer is laid during courtship, it serves as a lubricant that smoothens the way ahead of time. The prayer lifestyle that you cultivate or inculcate in each other will serve as a lubricant that smoothens the way ahead of time. This is the period where you strengthen one another in prayer by using any technological avenue. Now, planning is also very important during courtship. It is very prudent that proper planning prevents poor performance. You plan ahead of the future. Planning is key during courtship. The next is preparation. After you have planned, you start working towards your aim. Adequate preparation prevents poor outcomes. Effective communication is also very key to avoid surprises later in the marriage. Effective communications, you need to be open. You need to let the other party know you, and then also allow yourself to listen for whatever they have for you, so it does not obstruct you in your way ahead. Courtship is about committing to God first before committing to yourselves. It is very prudent to know this, that courtship is about committing to God first before committing to yourself. Therefore, any activity that would cause you to be intimate shouldn't be entertained at all. Any activity that will lead to you getting intimate shouldn't be entertained at all. Just as the main scripture, as I placed at the primitive stage of this video, which is Romans 12 1-2, that our bodies are holy and acceptable sacrifices unto the Lord. It should be presentable. So this is where we'll end today. I thank you very much for your time. I am Kofi. My friends call me an amazing king. And if today is your first time seeing my video, especially try best possible to follow, like, and then share with the follower as well. Educative content only. I thank you very much for your time. Bless.